Hello everyone, this is Planckera, and welcome to my universe. I finally get to do lighting. I'm so happy. I have been looking forward to this for a while, and it's like, even with it really messy, like, yeah, I added a little bit of color correction and stuff so we could get a preview of what it'll look like once it's all done, but, anyway, even with just the messy lighting, it's like, look at the difference. Difference is huge. So that's what I'll be working on today. Gonna try to get as much as that done as I can, but I mean, difference is huge. I mean, it's just amazing to me how big a difference that just a little bit of extra work can do. But before I get into that, I do have a couple of things I want to do with her face. Because, like I said, she has, I've mentioned it a few times. You can't really see it in here, which is probably why I forgot about it. But she has a little mole on her mouth here. Like, right there. And I did not draw it, and that's just an absolute travesty. I always say that, not because I'm insulting myself or anything, but because, well, this particular VTuber just also really happens to like beauty marks. So forgetting hers just feels wrong, you know? Anyway, let me make sure I'm putting it in the right spot. Yeah, I have it in the right spot. Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure that I had it right. Alright, so I think I'll just put it here. I'm debating if I want to touch up the hair a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I feel about this shadow here. Does it need to be there? Absolutely. Do I like the way it looks right now? Iffier. And I do think it is worth putting lots of extra effort into the face. Oh god, but now I have to go and make sure I get the color right. I don't know, it just looks like kind of a blackish color, so I think I can probably just use a color from here. Maybe this guy from her eyelashes. That should be fine. Okay, so... Ooh, as it is now, I have it covered up by her hair. Okay, in that case, we're gonna move the hair a little bit. So let's make her bald briefly, just to make sure I get it in the right spot. Like, right here. Maybe just not quite so dark. There we go. Okay. So now I'll put the hair back on, and I gotta make it move, because that has to be visible. It just has to, okay? It would be wrong if it wasn't. Okay, so let me get rid of some of my shading layers, just to make sure I get all the colors right. Okay, so this is just how it looks without all the science. And now I can take this strand and put it in a slightly better spot so it does not cover that up. Do I even want it to overlap her face? At this angle, I could let it just go behind. You know, let's see what that looks like. I think I can do a fairly quick and dirty... Oh, that's not on the strands layer, that's right. It's okay, someday I'll find the right layer. Okay. So I could let this kind of go a little further behind if I want. I'll have to repaint part of the face, but that's alright. Actually, yeah, that looks pretty good. So I think I'll go with that option. I'll let this one overlap on top. I think that works well, and before I touch up the shape, I want to get rid of the shadow that I currently have on her face from the hair, because that'll throw me off. Yes, we are in fact done with the leaves. Well, no, we're not done with the leaves. We are, we're doing the lighting. I'm just touching up the face before I go back into lighting. And the leaves also have additional lighting that needs to happen. So we will be going back to leaves. You never really escape small details and foliage. But today is going to be all about the character. I may or may not get back to the leaves today. I am not sure. Actually, I think I'd rather have this one. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just kind of changing up how I'm doing the hair for a little bit here. I decided I wanted the strand to go behind her head instead of on top of it. Because otherwise it would hide the mole on her mouth there, and that's just unacceptable. So we're gonna touch that up, and then I might do some touch-ups on the hair. I think the rest of the face is fine, though. Like, I briefly considered adding a little bit more texture to the eyebrows, but I don't think it's necessary. I might change up the color on it just a little bit to let it blend in with the skin a little bit better, so it looks a little bit less caterpillar-y. But that'll probably be the extent of it. Can't see what I'm doing. I want to make sure that her jawline and cheeks are impeccably shaped. I always think that it's always worth just spending a little bit of extra time getting the face just right. And I didn't feel like her cheeks were looking quite right. So I'll just gently shave some things off here. And I think that's fine. So now I just gotta fix the strand because I kind of broke it. That's okay. There we go. Okay. Yeah, there we go. I think that looks fine. So with that, should be able to turn all the layers back on, at least briefly. I just want to check it and make sure that it still looks fine. Oh, and I should turn her blush back on too. There we go. Does her cheek look a little lopsided? Oh man, now that I don't have the hair covering it up, I think the nose is off-center. Well, that's unfortunate! Okay, well, I'll fix that too, so... Ooh. Yeah, that should be enough there. Because all I really have to do is take this and move it slightly to the right, I guess. Yes. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay. Yeah, we just gotta put it back where it belongs. I might have to move the mouth a little bit too, but... This one doesn't actually look too bad. Let me see. Face. Oh, I put the eyelids on that layer too? Okay. Things you learn when you haven't touched a certain area in a really long time. Okay, yeah, that one didn't have to move quite as much, but there we go. That feels a little bit more centered. I always have a little bit of trouble balancing certain things like that because my depth perception is kind of terrible. My ability to judge distances also pretty terrible. I think it's why I struggle so much with basic proportions and stuff. Because I'm just like, does this look right? No. Does this look right? No. But I get it eventually. It just takes me a little bit. Okay. So I think I have all the holes filled in, so I can kind of start getting everything back in the right place and all that good stuff. Okay. Re-blend everything since I kind of had to decimate it with my hard brush. Okay, it's for the best. These things must be done sometimes. And it's nice because now the nose is no longer looking really off-center, and I have no idea what's going on there. I guess it's probably from the window, so I don't have the head the right shape. Okay. Okay. So I'll just clean up the nose here a little bit. Get all of that lovely again. I think I have all the colors okay, though. So it's just gonna be a matter of blending it back in and then moving the nose highlight to where it belongs again. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so where is it? I think I put it on this layer? No. This one? Yes. Wonderful. There we go, that wasn't so bad. And I even think that the blush is mostly fine. I'm just gonna kinda push the bit on the nose a little bit to the side again, and that should be okay. Let me just flip the canvas and make sure. Yeah, it looks fine to me. Okay. In that case, I'll head back up to the hair. Alright, well thank you for stopping by. I do hope you have a nice day. And so far, yeah, I think it's going great. I like it. That's not something I always get to say about stuff I draw, because sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. But no, I like this one. I think for also future drawings and stuff, I'll be able to do some interesting things. I'm really looking forward to trying out some stuff. So there we go. I think I just want to soften this shadow down here just a little. Kind of let it spread out just a bit more, and I think it's okay if this strand gets a little bit darker. I think that actually makes sense. Okay. And I don't mind it being light up there. So let's hope that didn't totally flub some of the other details that ended up getting put on here. Oh no, we're good. Excellent. But there we go, yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And then maybe I make it just slightly lighter at the bottom here. Let it gradate at the bottom just a little, where it's not being touched by this strand quite as hard. So the shadow's kind of caused by this lump of hair. And as it gets farther away, the shadow shouldn't be quite as strong. So I think that's a little bit better. Okay, and other than that, I think I'm satisfied. That was really all the face adjustments that I wanted to do. Hello there, Blaze. Welcome back. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to do with the face. Let's do some lighting. I'm even gonna let myself do the fun character lighting before I go back and start doing the background lighting. Let's just go derp around a bit. I've been wanting to work on this for like 2 months now. I'm going to allow myself. And hello there, Protox. Welcome back. Alright, so I'm gonna start with the shadows. I am just gonna start with that and figure out where they should be plopped down. I definitely had a vision here. I actually think it's kind of cool, but it needs to be refined badly. Okay. Oh, thank you very much. I'm glad you like it. Why is this color so different? Is it just because I erased part of it? Yeah, so it's a okay, I see. That's fine. I can make that work. I don't think I want to start going into the shadows with a soft brush here. Or with a hard brush here, because this is all the same color, right? Yes. Okay, I was just surprised because normally I don't use gradation in my shadows here. But for this particular image, for people coming that haven't seen this from the beginning, this was a great deal of experimentation for me. I am doing a lot of things that I do not normally do here. So that's going to result in some things being a little bit strange for a bit, while I figure out how to actually make certain things work. So things are going to look a bit weird. That's okay. That's just how science works, you know? There we go. Okay. And so I remembered while I was trying to figure out why I didn't like certain aspects of the lighting. I remembered that I ended up taking an eraser and kind of softening up the shadows in certain places. So I think that's why my shadow color is so much darker than what I want the shadows around here to be. See, in my usual way of doing things, I would just pick a different color. But I don't think that works here. Oh, is that a hole? That's a hole. Oh. Unfortunate. Okay. I gotta fill that in, because otherwise it's gonna look weird. Is that not a hole? Or do I just have the layer locked? I just have the layer locked. So let's fill in that tiny hole, so that this way... Yeah, there we go. The shadows are a little more continuous. Because I have this clipped. So that's what this A is. It just means that I can't color outside the lines, and that's very convenient. Ah. Okay, I'm not sure what happened there, but... Okay. Back to what I was doing. Yeah, I am gonna have to figure out how light some of this should be. And I am not used to having to control all of this quite so much. I'm wondering if I should just go in with a solid color and then figure it out later. Probably not, actually. Okay. I don't know, man. It's gotta be weird using a different color here, so... Okay, let me just figure out which parts I want to be in shadow. And then get that clean. And then I'll gradate it, because otherwise I think I'm gonna drive myself crazy. Okay, and I think here... Yeah, I don't actually think I want shadow there. I changed my mind. Maybe a little bit, like on top of the eye. Right here. Make her look just slightly more ominous. But yeah, I'll start with the solid color. Man, I didn't quite fill in that hole, huh? Okay. I will try again. Okay. I can't do it with this brush. I hate it when I miss spots. It's terrible. Okay, is that good? If I turn this back on, does it look right now? No, not yet. Still a hole right here. But I absolutely need to get that filled in, because otherwise there'll be a gap in the shadows and it'll look bad. There we go, looks like I got it now. Wonderful. Okay, I'm gonna include her eye, even though I do plan on erasing a little bit. But I just need to get some stuff down, because I do not think I will be able to do this properly without doing this step. I was gonna try, but it wasn't working out, man. Alright, so that should be all of the shadows I want for the face itself. And yeah, this definitely feels way too harsh for everything else here, but I do think that's okay. I'm gonna keep going with the science I was doing here, where what I was planning. Right now it's making her head look a little transparent, but I think once I fix the shadow shape here, it'll make the hair look a little transparent. So it'll be like the window frame is able to block some of the light from hitting it. I see that I have messed up a few things right through there. I should fix that once I get back to the background. I'm not gonna do it right now, but yeah, I think once I tame that shape a little bit, it'll look really cool. It'll make her hair just look really soft. So I'm going to include that in my way too harsh lighting right now. Just right through here. And some of this will definitely be from her... will be not transparent. That'll just be where her head goes through. But I'll figure that out when the time comes to get all this right. I just want to get the basic ideas down here. Let's see. This should not have any... Yeah, there we go. That should be good. I did something similar with the flowers too, and I think that's gonna look fantastic. I'm very excited for it. Okay, and let's see, through here... I think I want to keep this side of her hair light. Let's select the hair again. I think I want to keep this side light. I think that'll look good. But over here, dark. Because, like, I could potentially do it so that half the hair is going into shadow there, but I actually kind of like the contrast. So I think I'm just going to leave it like that. But this side will be dark. We'll leave a little sliver of light on this guy, and I think this side should be light, and then the top of her head I think should be dark. No light of filtering through here. This part not getting caught by it. And I think I'm just going to be a little bit messy and imprecise with a lot of it. Since I will be kind of blending certain things later, there are certain areas that I want to make sure are right. Let's see. No, I think this part specifically should be shadow. Okay. And then my hope is that when I go to soften things later, that I'll have all of the basic separations a little more, I guess, clearly defined and intact there, so I can just blur the edges and it'll be good. That's the hope. We'll see how it pans out. Okay, and now to make it a little bit more hair-like through here. Kind of follow some of the textures I put through it. And plop in where the highlights are. We'll just erase some of that here. Let's see. And I think that does it. So just something like that. It feels weird, because right now I'm being way less precise than I normally would be. Okay, I'll let it feel weird. Science should feel a little bit weird, I think. That's kind of the point of trying something new. If it didn't feel a little bit weird, I would think that I'm doing something a little bit wrong. Okay. And Let's see, I think I have an opportunity to make the hair feel a little transparent again. So I might add a little bit more shadow shape from the little rose bun there. I don't have it shaped very precisely, though. But I think I can do something kind of interesting here. And then maybe a little bit from the ears. Okay. Let it be just a little bit darker where it overlaps with the ears here. And I think this will look better once I can modulate. Once I can modulate the effect. Right now it's way too strong. Way too strong. That's okay. It can be a little strong for the moment. And I want to add, like, make it just a little bit smaller than where I think the flower would be. But there we go. Something like that, where it looks like it's darker because it's being blocked by this bit of hair and her ears and stuff. I think that'll look really good. Okay. So, I think it's time to start heading over to the body. I want some dark on the neck here. I kind of wish I could do all this in one step, but I just can't see the shadow shapes properly with without doing a little bit of rigmarole, I guess. Okay. So most of this I think should be dark. About half of this. And definitely the part through the bottom here. All of this. It'll catch, like, the edge right there, the light that is. This part of her chest, I think, is actually mostly going to be light. Oh, man. I got a bot that the auto-moderation actually caught for once. I'm surprised. That's the first time that's happened. Okay. Well, anyway. So let's see. Some of this I'm going to want to put back in light here. I'm going to go over things a little bit messily for now. I'll go ahead and start with that. And then, much like I did in the face, I'll zoom in and kind of smooth it a bit. And let's see, through here. I'd actually like there to be no shadow there. I'm gonna make the cape look really... like the light is shining through it. It's gonna be really cool. Trust. It's gonna be great. I'm really excited to draw that part, honestly. Okay, so I think the tips of the fingers here will probably catch a little bit of light. This part of her palm, maybe a little bit. But I think these fingers won't. So I'll put some shadow there, and then most of the dress here I don't think does. Maybe, like, right through here gets a little bit. But for the most part, I don't think it really catches any. Because, yeah, this is far enough from the edge of the window here that I don't think any of this catches light, actually. I might still put a little bit of shininess there just to make it a little more visible. We'll see how it works out. And the cape, I still don't think I want a bunch of shadow there. I'll leave it there for now because I have a plan, and it's going to involve a gradation. So, that'll be easier to do. Okay, and leg, mostly in shadow. The top part, maybe not quite so much. But definitely mostly. This one entirely. Okay. So I think that's where most of the shadow is going to be. Let's make this look nicer now. So, oh yeah, that's right. The back of the flower should probably have a bit too. I think some of the tips of the petals will catch light from over here. So I don't think it'll be very strong. But some parts definitely will. And I see I had the entire thing shadowed, which I don't think is correct. Okay, so how do I think that some of this stuff should be lit? Let's see. This part inside the cape should definitely all be in shadow. The neck. Like that. And I think this, like the very top of the cape here. Ooh, I actually had some shadow there, which I don't think is right. Yeah, that's right. There's going to be some soft residue that I'm going to have to clear in certain places. You know, all things considered, I probably should have cleared everything before trying to do this again. Oh well. Nothing to be done about it now. So let's see. Yeah, now I can get certain other parts of the vision in. Where I wanted some of these these folds that I pictured as being very deep folds to have a little bit more dark in them. Some shadow from the flower. And let's see, this one is a pretty big fold. I'll let it kind of go out almost to the edge there. And this one is as well. Oh man, so I'm finally getting to bring out some of the details that have been in my head for a while, but I haven't been able to draw. This part will be light. I think this part actually should be light too. Yeah, now that I think about it, all of this should be light. Okay. There we go. Let's get the shape of those shadows right, and then I can get rid of the parts that are overlapping some of the other elements, like the vine here. The shadow shouldn't be on that. Okay. Oh yeah, that's gonna look good once I soften that up. I guess I shouldn't be too particular about the shape, since it's all gonna change soon anyway. Yeah, and then there'll be a strong highlight there, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fine for what it is for now. So here, we're gonna let the light shine through the hair, with maybe a part from this vine kind of blocking it here. I think that'll look really pretty. Just little things like that. And the flower here, let's see. Let me finish catching the deep folds, I guess. Let's see, do I think this part should be shadow on the cape part? I think so, actually. Let's get a lot of stuff here. Like, this side is getting a little bit further from the main light source of the window here. This part is still within the window frame, so I'm going to give it a lot of room. There's this entire area on the other side of her hair, I think, will still be lit. Maybe less so right here. I'll fill that in just a little bit more. No. The way I should do it is I'll just have a strong light over there, but the shadow should be minimal. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Okay. Let me fill in the shirt here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep going with the bigger shadows for just a little longer before I go in and clear certain other areas. And then I'll do the flower and like the cape brooch and things like that all individually. This guy's gonna be pretty bright. Maybe not so much here, though. And I'll put a little shadow from the leaf. Okay, and that should all look pretty good once I clean that up. Yeah, I think this will really help bring out the folds on the cape. And that'll look very nice. I'm very excited. Oh god, I have been looking forward to today for so long. So long! I have just wanted to do the lighting since forever. And then let's see here, yeah, probably about there with just the edge of this frill getting caught in the light. There we go, and of course the frills here will be in the light. The shadow is for this part in the middle. So I want to make sure I get that shape very nice looking. And I think I'm going to do the same for the light here, just to kind of make sure that I like where I'm going before I go ahead and soften it all. I want to do them together. I want to do them together. Okay, this one I'm going to let go a little further over just so it doesn't quite line up with the one on the frill here. I want them to be a little bit staggered. I think it looks better. Yeah, and I can see that I have a bunch of residue from my initial attempt there. I'm really going to have to make sure all that's very clear. Very clean. Because, yeah, all of that is just bleh. Bleh. I don't like it. Okay, down here can be dark. And I think I'm gonna let all of this side be light. Maybe I start the shadow just on the edge here. Yeah, I think that makes sense. And then we can put this frill back in the light. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Okay. And then I think only the edge of this frill won't be in the light, but I'll let that edge be a little bit dark there. I don't think I'm going to use this to kind of emphasize the folds and the frills. I think that they're transparent and soft, so I do think that this kind of thing is what makes sense. No, half of this one should be dark. Yeah, just based on what I have there. Okay. Let's get all those delicate little shadows in there. Okay, and I think... yeah, I guess I'll get the lapel of the suit as well, but after that I think that's going to be most of this area done so I can get into the flower. The flower is going to require a little bit more detail. But I would kind of want this guy to be a little more emphasized. I think that's important. This entire design was based around that flower, so I do want to make sure that it's looking good. It's not quite as strong a focal point as Katya's face, but I do think it is still important, and I want people to see it. It's just one of those more minor focal points. It's just a little baby one. It'll be great. It'll help. Okay. So now I can come down on this side. Actually, I think that sliver should be shadow. Okay. get the frills on out here. I'll leave that part dark. I think that makes sense. It's like the backside of this here. We'll let the light catch the edge of this frill. And there we go. It occurs to me, I'm gonna have to basically draw more frills. I told you, you never really leave a frill hell. You keep walking back into it. And it just keeps happening, man. Okay, here I think I can give myself a slightly easier time. I think I have a layer for the lapel. Somewhere in all of this. Yeah, where did I put it? There it is. Okay. I knew it was there somewhere! Okay, so we'll let this catch the light a little bit. On the frills, it'll make more sense once I can gradate things a bit. Okay. And this is another spot that will look a lot better once it's soft. Okay, well, we'll start with this. I think most of this will be lit. It kind of catches like the corner here. And there we go. Okay, so that should be it for all that. And now I think it's safe to start touching the hair, then the flower, and the brooch here. So how do I want to do with the hair? Well, first things first. I want to get rid of my initial attempt here. Not the stuff I just did, but there we go. Where I kind of lessened it. Okay, that should be fine there. And now I can decide where I want to put things. Okay. Basically, the purpose of all that, even though I'm just drawing right back over it, was just to make sure that there wouldn't be any, like, semi-transparent pixels mucking things up. That would just be no good. I don't want to deal with that. So, I'm not gonna. I'll let kind of the edge here catch the light until about there. I think that'll be pretty. Just from right over there. But not too much of it. Especially in the areas where the cape covers things. And then the edge of the cape, I think, is doing something like over to here. So I'm gonna let it kinda have a weird cutoff there, where the cape is covering it. Like I said, I want to make the hair look a little bit transparent. So I'm gonna kinda define the edge of the cape just a little bit back there. Yeah, there we go. And then you can see where some of these things are based on where these shadows are. I'm going to make them a little bit narrower than the actual object since they are a little far away. And that should look really nice once it's once I have proper gradation and stuff. That side I'm just going to keep dark. Okay, yeah. I already like this. Alright, then over here, I don't want anything on this part of the cape. But the arm, I want to have some stuff. I was thinking about the hair, so I guess I'm doing this part now. That's fine. I'll come back and do some of the other parts after. Okay, where's the vine? I want him to be shadow. And just catch like a sliver of light out on this side. I'll let this leaf catch the light. The entire leaf. And then there'll just be a little sliver of light right there. And maybe a little right there. There we go. Okay. So all of the arm underneath the cape there, I'm gonna let catch the light. But this part of, or I'm gonna leave in shadow rather, but this part of the light will catch the light just a little. It'll be just like a little narrow band, and then it'll get less and less over here. Yeah, that seems pretty good. The hair over here, I think I'm just gonna leave in shadow. The cape will be light. The cape is gonna look so good. I so look forward to putting some of the light on there, and just, I swear, the moment I put it on, everyone's gonna be like, ah, so that's what you were planning. Because then it'll just immediately make sense. It's gonna be great. Okay. And yeah, that's all fine. I think it'll be completely in shadow right about there. Vine, shadow. Not on the cape. Absolutely not on the cape. Okay, now I can think about the hand if I want to, but I think I'm gonna go back up. Gonna head back up to the top and do all those other things I said I was going to do. There's fine. Right. Okay. Let's get the flower and the brooch before I start getting down there, because I can already tell that if I keep going, I'm not gonna stop until I reach the foot, and I just want to finish the upper body first. I do. Okay. So, I think I want to do this part first. So right there. Okay. We'll let a bunch of this part be light, and everything kind of over here dark. And in terms of the flower bit, I want to dig into those kind of occlusion spots where no light reaches. And then just very, very gently kind of clear the areas on the back here where I think the light hits at least a little bit. And like here, I think is going to be a little more dark. And I think it'll bring out some of the metallic feeling. This side, I think I'm going to leave light. And I think that's about right. Yep, looks fine to me. I think I missed a spot right there, but that's about it, really. Let's see. On the part going around the edge, I think I want a couple more spots catching the light here. And just a little bit kinda coming from this way. Just the occasional little sliver. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty good. So I'm gonna leave it like that. And now it's time for the big flower. Where did I put that? There it is. Okay. So I'm gonna do something similar here. Where this side is gonna catch just a little bit of light over here. This side is a little bit further away. And a more... how should I say? So I'm picturing a plane for her body here. Where... if I draw a box, it's kind of like this. And then we get the backside like that. So you can see that part of this is in the plane chains facing this way. It's kind of sitting on that part of her chest, as opposed to directly on the front. It's kind of off to the side. So I think the side of it will catch a little bit of the light from over here. There's enough stuff in the way that I don't think it gets as much, so I probably won't put a lot of super bright highlights on it. But it gets to bend reality a little bit. Just a little. And catch a little bit of light from this side. Even though, strictly speaking, I don't think it should. But it's special, so it's fine. Oh. Okay, there we go. It's special, so it's fine. It'll get to do what it wants. And I think it'll help it make it a little more distinct from the hair. Man, I am just getting all the bots today. I always make the joke that there are two things that let you tell when you're starting to gain traction somewhere. The first is bots. It's like they're a little bit less picky in their targeting. But it means that you're getting impressions, that people are starting to notice you. The second is haters. Haven't gotten very many of those yet, though. I've gotten a couple of people that have tried to troll me, but I wouldn't say I've gotten any genuine haters yet. So I don't think I've quite made it. But I've at least gotten to the bot stage. Okay. So let's see, on these, I think some of the edges of the petals will be getting caught, but not much more than that. Let's fill in a lot of this, and then I'll gradually start pulling it out of the shadows. Okay. This petal is going to be kind of interesting because it's actually catching light from both sides. And just very, very slightly. And I think that this will kind of help emphasize which direction some of these petals are pointing. Okay. We'll pull just a little sliver from this side. I don't think that side catches the light very strongly. It's a little far away. Right here, I think, is going to catch it. Right here, I think, catches a little. I actually really like this because it's also helping kind of separate the petals from each other. I don't think this one really catches much light from this side, so I'll just let this one be like this. But yeah, I think it's making the whole structure of the flower just a little bit more clear too, so I am pleased. It's actually really amazing what you can do with light. In terms of just nice little structural things. Because it's one thing to be accurate, but you know, I'm drawing anime. I don't really care if it's accurate. I only care about what looks good, and that's the privilege that people that draw stylized art get. It's that you get a lot of flexibility in kind of fudging reality until you get what you want. Hello there, Ragnarok. Welcome. So far, so good. I have been looking forward to doing the lighting on this picture for a long time, so I'm finally getting to do it. I was just talking about how when you're drawing a more stylized image, you get a little bit more flexibility in how you use your light. And on this flower here, I'm using it to help separate the petals a little bit more. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's getting there. I'm almost finished with this half of it. I've got an outfit on the other side that I plan on finishing as well. They're gonna be mirrors, so once I finish this side, I think the other side will come fairly quickly. But yeah, this half of it is almost at its end. But I get to do the lighting. The lighting is like one of my favorite parts, and I'm just so happy. Oh, congrats! I think art is a very fun time. Highly recommend it to everyone. Okay, so let's just get these guys a little tiny sliver of things. I actually think that this part might be a little bit too big in a few areas, so let's go ahead and tone that back just a little. I think that's about right, though. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so all is well there. Okay, so now I can get to the lower body. I just didn't want to get distracted before I finished the upper body. I actually don't think any of her torso catches light here. I might let it anyway, just to separate it from the cape a little bit, but I think once I put the light on, that might not be necessary. Might not be, so... Where the heck is the suit layer? There it is. I swear, I always lose that one. Okay. So yeah, I'll get, like, this half of it. And I'll clean up the areas. That should have a little more nuance later. It's okay, I mean, art programs can look complicated, but you'll probably never use like 90% of the features, so don't worry about it. Actually, by the time we get down there, I think there's going to be some gradation happening, so I'll just go ahead and paint there. I mean, for the most part, I just stick with my friend the hard round brush. This one's a bit softer, so I had to use some of the more opacity brushes for it. But legit. Yeah. But legit, I do like 95% of what I do with just this brush. What is it? A basic 5 size. I basically don't use any other ones. This one a little bit more of an exception, but with a lot of the stuff I normally do, yeah. Just need my friend, the hard round brush, and nothing else. So I say, you know, just pick a brush, don't worry about the fact that it's digital, and just draw stuff. You can learn some of the other techniques later. Because the program can't draw for you, so it's all good. Yeah, that's fine. You can just incorporate them into the picture or draw over them. It doesn't really matter. When I was a baby artist, I actually drew entirely on one layer, so... I only recently started... Well, relatively recently. Yeah. I only relatively recently started really using layers a lot. Yeah. That's okay, there's things you can do. That's why I say, don't really worry about the fact that it's digital. The skills you need to learn probably lie in drawing, unless you've been drawing long before you did digital art. Like if you drew analog with a pencil and paper or painted, then yeah, maybe focus on the digital aspects, but this way you can transfer over the skills that you've already built. But if you're new to art and drawing in general, I'd say don't worry about it, just learn how to draw. Okay. Yeah. That's okay. I think that learning how to draw will take you a long way. Yeah, it's a good way to be. And drawing is fun. It's very fun. Alright, let's get some lighting around this hand. So this hand is kind of interesting. Since I do have a little bit of light coming from behind here, but you know what? I actually don't think that there's going to be that much, so I'm gonna plop the whole thing here and pull out the fingers. Let's see. I think only this part catches the light. I was gonna have a little bit more over here, but no, I think this is far enough away from the light source that it won't. So, we'll just get the fingers that turn toward the window there. Maybe just a slight sliver up on the top to help make their presence a little more clear, or something. Just so that this doesn't all turn into a big swath of dark. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't make any money off of art. I just like drawing for the internet. I think it's fun. Okay, yeah, this one I think I'll let catch a little bit of light here. Not a lot. Probably over through here, too. Oh, I have a little bit of residue. I should clean that up. There we go. That's better. Okay, and I think all the stuff outside of the cape is going to catch just a little bit of light there. The skirt material I picture thick enough that it probably won't so much. Or that it won't look transparent. So I'm not going to erase on the cape there like I was on her hair, which is a little more transparent. So a little bit of a difference there. Okay. Get a little bit of the fold right there. And I don't think I want this one to catch light. There'll be a little bit of frill catching light just over here, but not that much, I don't think. Ooh. Yeah, that does sound interesting. I've never tried engraving like that. That sounds cool. So is it like into metal or wood or more or some other material? Okay, so there we go, and I think it's fine for all of these guys to be in the light. It's, like, directly facing the window, so that makes sense to me. Same with the frills here. So I'll let them be all nice and lit up. Wood acrylics glass, okay. Yeah, I think it's always interesting when you can take things from the 2D plane and make them a little bit more real, I guess. It's not quite the same as Because, like, I don't even think oil painting does that quite the same way that a lot of, like, figurine making or some of the stuff that you're talking about there does. It's really interesting. I know very little about the technique for it, but it certainly looks very cool. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Okay. There we go. Let's get this all nice and lit up. And for the back, I already said I wanted to do a little bit of gradation there. It is. It's a good time. It's alright. Some things are just fun, even if you're not very good. And sometimes, you know, you don't have to be a master artist to have a good time with it. I'm just thinking of, like, if we're gonna go with super basic girl hobby, where I've seen a lot of people, like, doing sticker scrapbooking, and that's about as far as I want to go with art, and that's cool. That's fine. I think that is a perfectly fine hobby, where, you know, you just buy a bunch of pre-made stickers and then put them in a journal or something, and, do that. Yeah, exactly. Make some pretty pictures. Okay. So, let's clean up the leg here. Get that separation out. So I do want the leg here catching light. Let a little bit more of the vine there catch light too. This entire leaf definitely should catch light. Okay. And I think that's about perfect. Let's get the knee. And then this part in particular I think is just going to all come together once I do some proper gradation and stuff. So this is enough here. Let's go ahead and put just a touch of light on the vine. Just right here where it's like directly facing it, and then like on this leaf. Just to separate it out from the pants a little bit better. There we go. No, I don't think those parts are super important if you don't feel like learning it right now. Like, it'll make certain parts of your life a little bit easier, but if you just want to get to the drawing, then, you know, that's okay. Like I said, when I was a baby artist, I drew entirely on one layer. Entirely. So I didn't want to deal with any of that. It's like I don't anymore. It does make your life easier once you get used to it, but frankly, the drawing skills are just so much more important. The tools can only help you along. I definitely can't be a substitute for drawing knowledge. Yeah. There we go. I think that's fine. It's good to learn. It's good to learn. Like, anything that helps will indeed help, but most of what will help will indeed just be drawing. Okay. And let's see, I think I'll let a little bit of the back of the leg catch light, just to kind of separate some things out. Where did I put the legs? There they are. Okay. This will probably be another spot that's just a gradient. And then the front leg specifically, right here. There we go. Yeah, I'd say that the big thing with tablets is pressure sensitivity. That's huge. I don't know how people are able to draw with a mouse. That's still crazy to me. Okay, I said I wasn't gonna do this with the suit back there, but I think I will, actually. I changed my mind. There it is. Just erase a little bit right there. Okay. Yeah. There we go. Okay, so I think that's gonna be good for the dark part for now. So let's get the light on there before I start rendering everything. Okay, so now I gotta decide where I want the brightest parts to be. There's gonna be a bit on her cheek here. I might need a slightly different color for that because it's kinda... blowing out everything and you can't see anything anymore. But it's okay. I can change the colors in specific spots a bit later if I need to. So this is the part where I want to get everything kinda in place here. No, I'm not going to do the highlight there, but I will go down here. So yeah, I hate the color up there. I think it's fine everywhere else, though. I think it actually looks pretty good on the reds here. So I think the color's fine. I just need to change it in her face. I'll do that later. Okay. We'll just gently go over everything again, where I think the lightest parts are. And it's even fine to put some of those things on places that I actually had in shadow. Because in certain parts, it actually makes sense. It's kind of crazy how it works out, but it does. And I'm gonna try to be a little bit neater. Let's see. I think for starters, though, actually, you know what? I'm not gonna make the same mistake as last time. I'm gonna clear all the lights I had, and then I'm gonna put them back on. But yeah, for starters, I think I will just do it messy. And then I can kind of tame it back. We'll get the hair here and her ears. The edge of the hair. Just probably to about here, I think. Oh yeah, that's glowing, man. I want to hit this part of her arm. It's right through there, and of course the cape, like all of the cape. Not the vine, but I'll clean that up later. And I might let a degree of rim light exist here if I want to. We'll see if I want to. All of this. The back of the cape, we'll get that up to about here, I think. The top of her chest right here, and the edge of the neck thing. I think even this edge too, although much less of it. This side is going to be catching the light much more. Let's get her stomach and the edge of the buttons. edge of the belt. And a huge chunk of down here. And the back of the skirt there. And the back of the cape here. And the back of the skirt here. And the back of the leg here. And the top of the leg here. And do I want any on here? I think a little bit will look good, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. I don't think it makes sense, but I draw anime girls, so it doesn't have to make sense. It's fine. Gonna let it catch the edge of the hair here. And maybe just a sliver on this side as well. Okay, and then quite a lot on the flower on this side, I think. No, that's why I say it doesn't make sense, but it separates each pleat nicely. So it looks better, and it's a little more clear where one starts and where one ends. I might need to add a few more deeper shadows. I'm actually not sure if it looks good on the back here. I think that's probably going to be something I do with a bunch of gradation. And yeah, just a little bit over here. Yeah, thanks. I like this one a lot. I think it's looking really good. I am quite pleased. That's why I say, you know, I draw anime girls. Not everything I draw has to make sense. That's the privilege of those that draw with the stylization. We don't have to, we can acknowledge what would be realistic, but we can break it when we want to, and just pick something that looks good. But yeah, there we go. I think that's the quick and dirty light. So I'll go with that, and now just to kind of touch some things up here. I don't think I like the light around her eyes that bright. Maybe just around the highlight. And I've said probably like 4 times now, but man, I don't like the color right up here at all. I don't. I think it looks kind of terrible, honestly. But that's okay, because I can pick a different color when the time is right. Okay, so this is all stuff where I just picture the light hitting the strongest. Oh, I didn't get the neck. Definitely gotta get the neck. Okay. And then I actually don't think it'll be very strong right in the middle. So I'll let the bright light kind of taper off there. Yeah, I don't know. I like drawing clothes mostly. So, well, I guess I can't say that anymore. I do like drawing clothes. That is absolutely true. Lately, I've been really interested in drawing scenes. So, just background and stuff too. This one's actually been okay. I can't call it simpler, because in a lot of ways it's more complicated, and in a lot of ways it's simpler, but I kept the pose and everything simpler so that this way I could focus on... I wanted to try something stylistically a little bit softer. One of those things that's a bit hard to describe unless you've seen how I normally draw. But, yeah, I wanted to try something a little bit softer. So I wanted to pick something simple. Yep, exactly, and that's why I say it's a little hard to describe there. And So I just decided to try something. And so far so good, I like it. This is way too bright, but that's okay. I'll fix it later. Okay, and like what I was doing with the shadows, I will get all the areas around her chest and stuff first. And then I'll go ahead. It's better, the whole thing. Okay. And then I'll go ahead and get the flower and this brooch and stuff. I think it's just easier to do it in that order. This way I can be messy. But yeah, a lot of this one was an experiment trying something slightly different stylistically. I think it went very well, and I'll probably be taking that into future drawings. Kind of looking forward to seeing what I can do with it. But lately I've been... yeah, I can only describe it as scenes. So, it has, like, the character interacting with elements from the background. Like, there's a story to it. Even this one still has a little bit of a story, even though it's kind of simplistic there. But that's kind of what I've been interested in lately. Yeah, it's, the color up there is pretty bad. It's good on the clothes, though, so I'll just fix the colors up there. How long have I been drawing? I never know how to answer that question. Because, I mean... like most people, when I was tiny, I would scribble with crayons and I would draw and all of that. And that never really stopped. I mean, there were periods where I may not draw for like a year or two. As I think is also normal. But, yeah, so there's that, and then I started, like, actively learning how to draw probably, like, 20-ish years ago. And then I started taking it seriously maybe 5 years ago. So, there you go! Something like that! That's okay, it's the kind of thing that you can pick up with practice. Yeah, it's been a really good time. Hello there, Gauma. Welcome back. Okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and finish this thing again. I think the light only hits a couple of frills. Just like right on the edge here. Just right on the edge. Okay, and let's see. I think I want to take that part back. Oh, did you sleep well? Okay. There we go. I think all that's good. Let's get the back side of the cape here and the hair. I do think the highlight on this vine continues down a little further, so I'll get that. And I think that's good. Let me lessen the highlight on the arm here a little bit, and I can tell that I'm probably already going to get a little carried away again, and I'll have to make a point to go back. But that's okay, I can do that. I suppose that's better than it could be. Alright, I don't quite feel like getting the hair there. Let's get the hair up here. I was a bit lazy with it. There we go, and I'll make it a little bit more hair-like. Let it kind of catch the highlight here. Okay, trust the process. It's gonna look really bad until I fix the colors. But that's okay. Alright. Yeah, I think the light's hitting all that fine. At least the location of it. Alright, let's do some hair. Let's see. I'm gonna need to lower the opacity here just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. So I want the parts of the braid that are, like, folding over each other to not have any. So where they're overlapping and would be at their darkest. I don't want that to catch any light. So I'm kind of erasing over them. There we go. So that should be about right. And then from there, I can just think about where the light would get caught, and I do think I want to add some strands where I think it'll be a little bit... so it'll look a little bit more like hair. And I think I want to do that before I go in and... how to say... make everything softer. Just so that this way I'll have a little bit of the texture there for when I'm ready for it. There's just going to be a little bit of rim light through some of this. But I think it'll look very nice. Maybe plop in a couple of highlights where I see that I have some highlights going. I feel like hair hell is also also something that you never really escape from. It always comes back to you, because anime girls are like 70% hair. Oh, congrats. Honestly, I'm looking forward to being able to do some more animation at some point. I'm just waiting with bated breath for the next open source Live 2D to come into existence. Okay. Oh yeah, I'll just add a few things that I think will just give it a little bit more hair texture to it. And I do like the little sliver of light here, just to kind of differentiate it from some areas around it. Just a little tiny sliver. I think not having it here is mostly fine. I'll add a few spots, but I want it to be a little darker since there's going to be a shadow from this flower. So I don't think there's quite as much light in there. But once we get down here, I think it'll catch a little bit more. Have I heard of Smack Studio? No, I have not. Is that what you're using for your stuff? Bones for pixel art, I see. Okay. Yeah, don't do pixel art. Yeah, I'd never heard of it, so I didn't know if it was a 3D program or not. But yeah, that's why, because I don't do pixel art. That's alright. I'll just wait for Umamo. I'm kind of looking forward to being able to do some of that stuff again. I see. Well, yeah, I mean, that's kind of what that kind of bones structure, style of animation generally tries to do. But like I said, I just don't work with pixel art, so I am not familiar with any of the tools that pixel artists use. I doubt I ever will. I think pixel art looks nice, but I don't really have any desire to draw like that. Okay. Yeah. Always having to go back into hair hell. You never really escape it. Anime girls just always have way too much hair. Yeah. For me, it's like I sculpt. Basically. My way of drawing, I compare more to sculpting than drawing. But, which I guess you can relate to if you're doing 3D. So, but, pixel art would be very difficult. I like my painting. It's a good time. It's alright, we're almost to the bottom. I'm almost free. Again. Oh god. Oh, there's just so much hair. So much hair. I'll let this guy catch a little bit of light too. I think that'll look nice. Okay, I'm gonna be good and finish up the hair part first. Okay. There we go. Okay. And I think that's fine. I'll let a few of these strands get caught by light. Just a few. Okay, and I think that's good. I think that looks fine. Alright, so far so good. I see, okay. Alright, and I think with that, we are ready for the flower in the brooch again. I think I just want to start it over there, because I do think that most of this catches the light over here. We'll have some very shiny parts up here. The flower, a bit less so. And I'll let it catch a little from the back here, but again, the flower's kind of in the way there, so I don't want it to hit too much. But I do want it to look very reflective, and I think this kind of thing will help, so... There we go. I see. Yeah, I don't know much about the processes, so... I just know that that is a thing that happens sometimes. Or at least something that I've heard people talk about doing when they do 3D. Okay. We'll just brighten some of these guys up. And I think that'll be useful for separating from the hair again. Now the distinction between them is quite clear. I think this side is going to have most of the light. The other side... not as much. It's weird because, like, when it came to the shadows, I actually let this side be lighter. But when it comes to some of the brighter reflected light, I think it makes more sense for it to be over here. I don't know. I think it looks cool, so I don't care. Looking cool is definitely the most important part. I'll just let a little bit get caught over here, but not a lot. I see. Okay. Yeah, and I imagine if you're wanting to make stuff for games, optimizing your model somewhat is actually pretty important. Some things I don't have to worry about as much because 2D, but even then, you know, there's things I can do to sprites to make them run a little bit better on most people's computers. And I will probably do so. Proper compression and whatnot. Okay, there we go. I think that's good for the flower. Yeah, I'd say so. I think that flower looks pretty good. Oh no. Okay. We'll catch just a touch of light there. Oh, the buttons are small enough that I don't think I want to go too hard on the details. I will give them a little bit of light though, so just over here. Unfortunately, I can't see with the ants. Let me turn those off. There we go. Now I can see. Ants just completely destroying my vision. Swarms of ants are terrifying, man. Okay. I guess I'll go ahead and do the belt and the belt buckle just now. That sounds fine. Okay, I think for there that's okay, and then for here I think the light will hit the top. So I'll just leave a little bit of a shadow area down at the bottom there. And eventually it'll just head on over there, and there we go. Actually, yeah, I don't think I want that frill specifically to catch quite that much light. Just like a little bit on the side, I think is plenty. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and get this belt and belt buckle first. I don't think I did the shadows on the belt buckle, actually. I should do that. Let me hide the light here. Okay, so let's get the shadows on here. Right. So this thing, I think, is way more in shadow than the brooch up on her neck. So I'm gonna put more of this into darkness. And then a little bit kind of around the edge there. Actually, I can make this easier on myself. There we go. And let's see, how do I want the light to catch these parts out here? Maybe something like this. Yeah, I think that's fine. Alright, let's turn the lights back on. Oh wait, I shouldn't have deselected it because I was just gonna turn the light right back on. Okay. So now for the light part, I do want some shininess over here. Make it nice and shiny. And then a little bit of reflected light over here just to make things look, I don't know, easier to see, easier to make out. It'll help. Trust. Okay. We're gonna dance along the edges just a little here. And I think that's fine. So there we go. Let me get the rest of the belt here. Okay. So there we go. And I think her suit is looking fine there. I think this guy should get a little bit. And yeah, all of that's good. I want the whole thing there just completely bright. So yeah, I think we can move on to the lower body, where I drew some things and I was explicitly like, this doesn't make sense and I don't care. Okay. You know what, screw it. I want the frills to be light. I changed my mind. Okay. Okay, and I think even for the ones that I kept a little bit more in shadow last time, I'm still gonna brighten them up like this. Only on the side's not gonna get that treatment. And for here, I think I only want like that lightest part to get the bright light. I'll worry about the vine in a little bit. So there we go, just kind of up like this. And then into the folds and all that good stuff. And I think I decided I did not want to have the back part of the skirt have the light. Oh, huh, did I miss a spot with the dark or something? Because no, that looks better. So it just looks like I missed a spot here. Yeah, I did. Okay. And I think that this will be gradated and become a little bit darker overall, but I do want a little bit of light there, I think. Okay, so something like that. Yeah, that seems fine. Alright, we'll go back to the light then. Okay, so I don't want any bright lights on this side. This side does not get any. And actually looking at it, I think I want to do a little bit more with the dark spots here. I just want to... Actually, you know what? No, I think it would look better with, yeah, this. And just use it as a little bit of reflected light to separate the frills from each other. I don't think the finger should have any bright spots, right? Yeah, that's too much. I might put just a little bit on the back here. Call that good. Kind of like what I was doing here. I can get that all a little bit more accurate. Where's her hair? Let's get a nice selection so that this way I can reverse it and not have to worry about coloring outside the lines. Why isn't it working? Okay, I guess it is. I just can't see it. Probably already has color there is all. God, these frills are gonna take forever. Well, that's just kind of how it is, I guess. Okay. Okay, I knew what I was getting into when I drew frills. You never leave frill hell. It's hair hell, it's frill hell. There's just hell all over the place when you draw stuff, but it's okay. When it comes down to it, if you want something to exist, you just gotta draw it. It is what it is. Notice I missed a few spots back there. But I fixed it and now all is well. It is. All is definitely well. Oh man, I'm really excited to see what this is gonna look like at the end. I've been looking forward to it for a while. And it's almost time. Missed some spots here too. Man, I was just super messy about this area, huh? Oh no, that's all just light. Okay. So I didn't miss a spot. I just hadn't cleaned this up yet. Accurate. Okay, let's get the back of the cape all nice and bright. I look forward to doing that part too. I think it's gonna look really good once I get all that doing what it needs to do. I mean, of course it'll work. What else would it be? There we go. Missed a spot there, but that's okay. Touch it up a little. I'm using the wrong color. That purple color is kind of interesting, though. I'll have to keep that in mind. Okay. A little bit more reflected light through here. The ones in the back aren't gonna get any, but that's fine. They don't need it. They have everything they need already. They shouldn't be greedy. Okay, and there we go. I think that's everything. Like, maybe I want to put a little bit on the back of the leg here. I think that might help pull it out in a few places. It's a little bit dark. But yeah, there we go. I think that'll look good once I gradate some things. It's okay, you know, when in doubt, try things. That's why this picture exists. I was just trying things. And it went really well. It made me very happy. Life is good. Oh, that's the light. No, I wanted the touch up the dark. Okay. So now I can kind of pull things back and get things where I want them to be. Let's get a little bit on those cheeks there. A little bit more light on the cheeks. And start softening some of these edges out to nothing. I might need to hide the light occasionally, but I know the light looks good, so I can believe in myself. And this way I can start getting the colors the way I want them. I'll probably zoom out while I'm doing color adjustments. Like, I just feel like this whole area is a little bit too dark. So I'm gonna just lightly touch it up. And pray I don't mess everything up, I guess. Okay, I believe in myself today. Today's been going really well, so I believe. There we go. Just get those little shadows in there, making her hair look a little more transparent, I think. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's good. That's really good. And maybe just a touch of shadow on the tip right here for similar reasons. There we go. I look forward to adding some, like, sunbeams and stuff coming through the window. That's gonna be good. It's gonna be so good. I do want the shadow there, just not quite that dark. I'll lighten things up just a touch on this side. But there we go, I think I'm getting somewhere on with her face here. I just want to zoom in and make sure I got all the edges doing what I want them to do. It's gonna be kind of hard to touch up edges when I've already kind of gradated a bunch of things, though, so, well, something to keep in mind for future me, I guess. You know what I should have done, actually? You know what? I'm gonna do that. We're going back. I'm gonna repaint everything. It sucks to kind of waste a bit, but I have an idea, and I need to do it. Instead of doing everything via erasing, I am going to make a mask. I'm gonna make a transparency mask. Yeah, I'm just gonna make a transparency mask. Where's the hair? And with that transparency mask, that'll make it so that this way, anytime I want to fix an edge or lighten things up, it'll be easier in theory. Because I get the feeling that this is going to take me a couple of tries, and that's fine. That's what science is all about. It's about trying things, and sometimes you don't know it's gonna work until you see it. And that's just how it is. Okay, so gonna redo all that, and yeah, I was like, I have a little bit of dark through here, right? And then we get rid of the little bit on the edge here. And follow the highlights just a bit here. And here. Yeah, this is from the flowers, so I'm gonna leave it like that. I might just put a little bit going down like that. I think that'll look good. And there we go. So we touch up the chin just a little, but there we go. So now instead, I'm just gonna add a transparency mask. And now do the same thing, just better. And now I don't have to worry about fixing edges and stuff. I can do that just so easily now. Okay. Yeah, and all this feels the same so far, so... I didn't fix that part, but I think that part looks fine. I'm not gonna worry about it. That part will get to be an exception. Okay. And then anytime I feel like I need to adjust something, it's easy enough to do, because now, this layer will always be at 100% opacity, and I can just get the color anytime I need it. So like here, got a little bit erased, it looks like. I'm gonna fix that. And we'll just get that on there. And I'll fix up a few areas that got a little beat up in the process, but that's okay. You know, you can't make something nice without breaking everything first. Certainly feels that way sometimes. Yeah. And now I can try to get those slightly harder edges where I want them. And I do think that this is a little easier, and it won't damage what I did before, so if I mess it up, I can restart easily. And I will probably mess it up a few times. That's fine. I might actually adjust the shadow color here. I think that they might be a little desaturated, and that's why I kind of hate them. Yeah, that feels a little better. Okay. Alright, so now I just gotta soften everything and gradually get the transparency where I want it. So I kind of want the area on the side of the nose there to be darker than everywhere else. And I want some nice light on the cheeks. And I want her eyes to be a little brighter. I kind of want the slight feeling of glowing, because I like that kind of effect. But I also kind of want her to look vaguely ominous, so I don't want to get rid of all the shadows around her head or anything. The ominousness is important. Yeah, now I can kind of soften up the shadows here. I still think here's a little dark, so I'm gonna lighten that up just a little. Maybe not quite that much. And then look at a few dark areas around kind of the crevices of her mouth and stuff. Some areas where I think things should just be a little bit darker. Try to make it so she doesn't look like she has a mustache. That seems kind of important. And I do think that at the end here, I'm gonna have to use a blur tool in a few places to kind of clean up where my brush control is bad. Oh yeah, so far so good. I like this. This is working. Okay, yeah, let's go clean up those places where my brush control was a little bit bad. Mostly just right through here. Okay, and I don't like how hard that line is. So I'd like to fade that out to nothing too. On her teeth as well. There we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. I think I can be happy with that. I already think the bit on her hair mostly looks good, but I'll go ahead and touch up the few mistakes. Or the parts that don't look quite right. And I just think it makes her hair look a little bit more transparent there, and I think that's great. I love the way it looks like the the shadows are kind of filtering through there. Or the light is filtering through the window. I like it a lot. And now it's just a matter of doing this, but everywhere else. Oops, that's right. Where's her hair? I just want to try something. Another thing that I don't think makes sense, but it looks nice, so I wanted to try that. Or at least I thought it would look nice, and I have to say, I agree with myself. I think it looks nice. Thank you very much. So I'm gonna take my sweet time around the face. As always, the face is just important. If your face looks bad when you're drawing a person, the entire picture is gonna look bad. It's just how it is. It's just how it is. So, I want to take my time around here. Make sure I get everything just how I want it. Here's definitely dark. I didn't want I wanted the shadows to be there, but not like that. Be just a little bit softer. Just a little bit softer there. Maybe not quite that soft though, especially up here. Yeah, there we go. It had lost the whole effect for a second there. And now I can kind of start separating out the strands. Again, my brush control is a little bit bad, so I'm probably going to have to use the blur tool to help me out a bit, but that's okay. I can do that. Just want to lighten up the highlights here a little bit. Not too much. That was a little bit too much, I think, but just a little. And then just a few little lights on the strands, and yeah, there we go. I think that's fine. Let's go smooth things out. Just get rid of some of those harsh spots where I'm just like, oh god, how to brush. Okay, and here, get rid of the, got a little bit light there. Okay. So I think that's shadows on head and hair. So we can move on to the next area. For some of this, I think I really do just kind of have to smooth it out and make things gradate a little bit more nicely, and that'll be enough. Just thinking about where the folds are too, making sure I kind of respect all that. I might have to go back and add a few more shadows in there, actually. Yeah, I think I do. Okay. Make sure I have the right color, and then I can kinda paint over where I think there should be a few more shadows, and make sure I get those shapes right. And I think I want this shadow to... I don't want them to line up this perfectly. I think I want this one to be a little bit longer. So like that. Okay. now I can go back to, cleaning that up a bit. Wrong brush. There we go. And let's lighten things up over there. I don't mind that edge being a little bit on the harder side, so I think it looks fine like that. Okay. Okay, so there we go, kind of like that, and for this, a lot of this is caused by the cape, so I think I can just make it a little bit softer around the edge, and that'll be fine. So here I'm gonna add a few little gradients in places where I think it could stand to be a little bit lighter. Just like that. Not gonna do too much, but there'll be a little bit here and there. For the most part, I do think that the lighting that just came from the initial underdrawing here is sufficient. But I'll go ahead and do a little bit just out the side here. Okay. And I guess I'll get the arm while I'm down here. Just want to make it a little bit softer and not much else. It'll be nice and easy. Okay. Kind of the same with this guy. Just want it to be a little bit softer with not much else. Here, a little bit softer and not much else. Okay. So now I think I can get into some of the more complicated stuff. I don't know. This part should be pretty straightforward, actually. I'm just thinking about what color I want that to be. I'm gonna have to smooth that out a little bit. That's a little rough, but that's okay. I can do that. No. Okay. Phew. I really do like drawing clothes, though. All these little details, they do make me happy. They can take a while, but oh man, do they look great. I really like them. I'm very pleased with how everything's going. Huh. That's just how it looks, huh? That's not right. I'm assuming that's from overlap, right? Yeah. That's not right. Let me find the black I used. It'll be easier to get from over here. Probably the shadow color. And gotta pull this up. There we go. Now it should be fine. It's okay. I'll just fix any mistakes I don't like. Oh, I'm on the... Yeah, I need to be on the transparency mask, not the actual layer. There we go. Okay. There we go. I think that's been softened up nicely. Let's do the cape. So now I can get those shadows looking a little deeper there, where the folds really dig in. You can see I'm kind of leaving that bottom part hard, but this, where they kind of bleed into each other, I'm softening up quite a bit. But down here is going to stay pretty hard. And this is why I was letting myself be a little bit messy with things. Just a little bit. I figured it'd be fine. Okay, let's go get the... Oh, nope, there's a little bit right here. And you know what? I kind of like the way that looks. I can't really say it was intentional, but it looks fine, so I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, yeah, this all looks good. So now let's get into the brooch there. Where did I put that? There it is. And I don't think I have to do a lot here because I actually want most of these edges to be fairly hard. There's just a couple places I kind of want to touch up. And I think that's fine. The flower, on the other hand, needs to be very soft. I want those petals to look silky smooth. Nice and smooth. It's the kind of thing where you put them between your fingers, rub your hands around, and you can kind of feel it just effortlessly sliding through them. That kind of nice velvet texture that a lot of petals have. I want that to be feelable. I think it's very doable. Okay. Just a few more here, and I think that'll get them all. So I actually made a lot of the shadows a bit bigger than I intended, just to make sure I'd have plenty of room to kind of clean them up. And that is the result here, where I now have plenty of space to just kind of touch things up and get the effect I want. You can see I actually ended up erasing quite a lot of it. That's okay. It was designed that way. And I do think it is resulting in some very soft looking petals. So there we go. I think that looks pretty good. So upper body almost good. Let's go get her arm here and her hands. So that I definitely want to fade out into nothing. I want this to look nice and backlit. This hand is getting closer to the window, so that's why everything is so much brighter here. So much brighter. It's actually kind of surprising to me that you can observe this kind of thing in real life too, even in photos. Like, I exaggerated a little bit here. But this kind of thing really does happen, where you just get that little tiny core shadow right in the middle. I could probably stand to make it a little bit bigger, though. I think I will. I think I made it just a tad too small. Let's give me a little bit more space here. I'll erase anything extra, so it'll be fine. Okay. There we go. Now I think it's a better size. And I'm kind of paying attention to where all the folds are going. So we get a little bit more light hitting where the folds are, and a little bit less kinda deep into the folds. Get a little pattern like that. Okay, there we go. And the hands, I think, will be pretty simple. So again, I made the shadow a little bit bigger, and that's why it got put on the fingertips too, because I planned to kind of pull it back. Kind of like this. And then I can go up into the fingers. And just gently pull away there. God, I love doing lighting. It's just so much fun. And everything looks so much better after it. It's fantastic. I think that every artist just has certain parts in the process that they just love to pieces, and this is it for me. Just when everything... When the mood and the atmosphere start kind of getting in there. And, oh man. Because it's amazing how big a difference the lighting makes for just raw atmosphere. Yeah. And so, it's like, here we are. The point where the atmosphere gets to kind of come in a little bit. Okay, I kind of want to touch some of this up a little. No, that's blurry. There we go. Okay, and then I can kind of do something similar out here where I feel like the edges are a little bit weird. Okay. There we go. Lower body time. The lower body is relatively easy, so life is good. I'm kind of happy that I get to ease up on deciding just very particularly where the hardest shadows and the softest shadows are and all that, because here I can just kind of... like, everything's basically done. It's just a little bit of lighting to bring it over the finish line, more or less. Okay, so there we go. All those edges are nice and gone. Here, I think what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna blur the actual layer, because I want these to be basically non-existent, but I also want them to be a little bit smaller than they currently are. Or I guess I should say the shadow part should actually be a little bit larger than it currently is. So I'm just gonna adjust that. I didn't realize I had that weird lump there. Oh well, I think it looks fine. Okay. And now I can do it properly for the other side. Everything just comes over here. And we get some nice shadows. Oh, I'm drawing the wrong layer. Oh god. That's actually really bad for here. I'm surprised it worked out this well. Okay. There we go. That's better. Yeah, I draw on the wrong layer too all the time. It's fine. You can make it work. It's all good. There we go, and... now I just kind of want to fade this out to nothing. And this I want to be a little bit softer too. Where it kind of goes all in there. Making sure to kind of respect the folds of the pants that I drew in there already. And here, let's see. There we go. There we go. So now I can get all the folds around the knee here, where I think I kind of catches a little bit of light. And I don't know. What else do I kind of want to do here? Not much. Not much at all. This is where I can kind of get that fold I was talking about earlier, where it goes down her leg there. There we go, and I think once I soften this, that'll do it. Get a little bit more on the vine there, and yeah. Is there anything else that needs to be touched up here? I'm just gonna give one look over the picture. Oh, I didn't get the belt. Okay. I was gonna say, I thought I was forgetting something. Thought for sure I was forgetting something there. Okay. Also means I don't think I hit here properly either. Yeah, I did not get here. Actually, you know what? That one, if anything, should be a little bit smaller. So let's just blur the original. Okay, and now I can get the folds of the mask. Okay, and touch up the fingers. Just a little bit there. Not so bad at all. Working with light on the hand is pretty easy once you've got the hand drawn, so I just get to have an easy time for now. Let's see. Here might be a little tricky though, because this is just a little bit to kind of separate it from the skirt there. Okay, did I get everything? Let me give it a thorough look over here. Again, I might need to adjust some things on the face. Okay, and the light should save everything that I have a problem with right now. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I think that I might need to make some adjustments on the face. The color there is a little bit weird. I think it might be a little bit too dark still. But I think I'll do those touch-ups after I do the light. I'm gonna hide the dark, actually. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Okay. So colors are probably still gonna look a little bit weird for a little bit, but that's okay. Well, we'll get them in the end. Don't worry, I always win in the end and get what I want. Because ultimately, this is my universe and what I say goes. Okay, so that's just part of the hair, so that's all good. And so now I should be able to pretty easily soften everything. I don't think it'll take much effort at all. Just kind of pull out some hair strands where I think appropriate. I'm probably gonna have to touch this up after I fix the colors. So I guess I won't go too hard on it just yet. But yeah, it's like all blown out. Definitely gotta fix that. 100%. Okay, and I think once all these edges are soft, that will probably cover everything for the hair. Actually, I really don't think I have to do that much more, just a bit of color adjustment and then the background. I have to do the same thing for the background. I probably won't finish that today. But actually, before I do the background, there is one thing I need to do with the background. I need to mirror it over to the dress side. Because I want to do that before I start going too hard on any additional shading there, because the space that the figure on the dress side will take up is a little bit different. I mean, as you might imagine, it's a different outfit. So the various cast shadows and other similar such things will be in different places. So in order to make my life a little bit easier and to save myself from having to redraw the background, I want to mirror it over before I start doing anything to it. So once I finish the last bits of lighting here, that's what I plan to do. Get all that going. Okay, so this is where things get interesting. It's like, man, this is what I've been looking forward to, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the back of the cape just right now. Instead of, doing the upper body first this time. Okay, so let me get all the elements around the cape first. So that's kind of the hand here and all that stuff. Just so that this way when I look at it, I can make sure that I like what I'm doing without getting distracted by everything else that's happening. Oh, I didn't put this one in the right place. I should fix that. There we go. That's better. Oops, wrong brush. I need the soft one. Can't do this with a hard brush. It wouldn't work. As much as I love my hard round brush, there are things I cannot do. Oh, did I? No, I don't have the shadows on, so what is that? I don't know. Oh, that's weird. No, seriously, what's going on there? I don't have the shadows on right now. There's like a red spot right there. What is that? Yeah, it's like a wrong shadow from the skirt here. Supposed to be like this color, right? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, I see it here too. I guess I must have had these ones this color. Okay. Well, I'm glad I noticed that before the end. That would have been awkward. Yeah, and I see that I didn't do a very good job of lining things up here either. Man, I was super lazy. Okay, there we go. All is well. Yeah, these are things that are easy enough to fix. This was clearly supposed to be from the frills, so I'll just get rid of that there. And we'll just let the frills have their tiny bit of light on them. And after that, I want to make the cape look nice. That, I have very much been looking forward to doing that. I think it's gonna look great. So excited, man. Okay. But I'm gonna be good and do all the things around the cape first, just so it's not bothering me. Oh, huh. I didn't do that part right. Let's fix that. I think I know what I was trying to do. And then let's go ahead and select the vine. Because I don't think that part should have any light on it. Okay, and now go back to what I was doing, just very casually. Alright. It's okay. The part down here is just supposed to be a little bit of reflected light, so it's okay if it's a bit messy. Okay, over here, I do want to make sure that this is doing what it needs to be doing, though. I had a particular vision for this light, so I'm happy to be working on it now. It's just gonna be there, sitting on the knee, and then it's gonna just fade, and it'll be wonderful. Oh yeah. Just like that. I like this. That was what I wanted. Okay. So I think that's everything around the cape. Did I get all the frills? Let me make sure I didn't miss any. Oh, looks like I missed a couple over here. Let me make sure. Oh, okay. I guess I should get these ones too. I did miss a couple. Look, there's a lot of frills, okay? They took so long to dry. Okay. Yeah, that's perfect. So, what I've been wanting to do here, let's select the legs so I don't accidentally delete what I just did there. And exclude. And now as we get closer to the bottom, it's going to get a little darker. It's going to kind of fade that out. Same with the skirt here. That side can stay a little bit lighter. I'll let it kind of lessen right through there. And then I think that's about it, actually. It doesn't work without the shadows, but that's okay. Let's finish the lights up here. But that's basically all I wanted to do. Once the shadows come back on, it'll look good. I might need to touch it up, but it'll look good, I promise. But let's go ahead and finish up the upper body now. And then I can get those kind of last effects, adjust the colors, and that will be lighting on Katya. Oh man, so exciting. I love this part. This part is just always my favorite. It just changes everything. Okay. I'm doing my best to make sure I don't rush. It's really tempted to rush when I'm really excited for something. But I'm making sure that I'm being good. No rushing allowed. Have to be diligent. Okay, so there's the flower there. I actually think the brooch looks fine the way it is. Missed a couple spots, but that's okay. We'll get them now. I think the flower's looking great. I missed a spot again. Yeah, sure. Let's just do it with the soft brush here. Kinda buff out some areas here. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And then I can kind of adjust with the mask here. Make sure that I'm not covering up my shadows and stuff. Don't want to do that. Gotta keep the contrast. Oh, I missed a spot up there too. It's right there. Alright, let's see. Did I get everywhere? No. Did not get reflected light here, which actually I don't think I have enough right now. So I'm feeling a bit lazy, so I'll go ahead and do this like that. Did I get everywhere? Maybe a little more. Okay, and now I can kind of, you know, buff that out as I want. Okay. I did not get over here. So let's get over here now. Follow those folds. And I think that most of that looks fine. Just gonna touch up these guys out here. I think for the most part that it looks fine though. Okay. Yeah, and I did not get the cape over here. At least super simple. And it looks like her neck I did not get properly. Oh, or the side of her head here for that matter. That's surprising. Let's see, where's her hair? I want to select the hair and get rid of some of the brightness on it. Okay. Fix up the neck right there. And it looks like I got a little bit of light through here. No, I can't do it like that because I want the brooch to be light. I need to select the brooch first. Okay. Where are you? There we are. Oh. And now I can touch it up. Okay. I think that's everything. Let's go turn the shadows back on. Hell yeah. Okay. So yeah, I do think I need to adjust a few colors. I like the purple and the yellow that I used on the clothes, but not her face. Okay, and I still think her face might be a little bit dark. So... yeah, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna select shadow layer. No, I'm gonna do the light layer first. I'm gonna select her head. And... select row 1 pixel, and then let's make this a little bit darker. Might need to adjust the hue a little bit too, maybe a little bit redder. Man, even if I make it black, still feels a little bit too light. Maybe I just can't use color dodge there. In that case, let's cut this to a new layer. And I'll try a different layer mode. I don't know, actually, before I go that far, what if I just change the lighting style overall, and if color dodge is a bit too strong. Let's see, I need a soft eraser for that. Oops, I do not have a brush right now. There we go. Like I said, I really like the colors on the clothes, so I'm just trying to find something else I can do here. Yeah, it makes it a little warmer, so I think I can get behind that. Let's see, let's turn this a little more red. Okay, and then am I satisfied with the lights on her face? I don't think I am. They're not quite strong enough now. So I'll do another... Yeah, I'll go ahead and select her head again. Grow selection. Okay, and... copy to a new layer. There we go. Let's make it a little warmer there. Okay. I don't like what it did here. The overlay layer, that is. That's okay. Because I can change it. Many times as I want. I like right there, though. That's pretty cool right here. Let me lessen it just a bit. Oh yeah, it made certain parts a little bit of a brighter red, and I kind of dig that, actually. Wasn't what I was trying to do, but it worked, so let's keep it. Okay, and... let's see, what about the shadows? Shadows look great on her clothes here. Let's see. Where's the overlay layer? That's this one, right? Oh wow, that actually makes it darker, huh? Okay, where's the color dodge layer then? That's you, right? Yeah. Okay, I just want a little bit more kind of shining through down here. Okay, and... I still don't quite like the shadows on the face, so, but I like them everywhere else. So once again, I'll select the head. Okay, this time let's see if I can get away with just some hue saturation. Yeah, no problem. That's a lot better. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So I think that works there. And... So things probably look a bit weird because I have the light turned off on the background, so let's turn that back on and see if that makes her fit better. I think so, and then this part is too dark. I want that part to be a little lighter, so let's get rid— wrong layer. There we go. Let's get rid of the shadows there. They don't need additional shadows. They are already really dark. And if anything, they could probably use a little bit of the light here. Yeah, there we go. That's a bit better. I just didn't like how strong the contrast was. It drew too much attention to itself. I think I want here to be a little stronger too. Which might mean blacklist on the overlay layer. Make it a little brighter. I'm thinking now. Need to think about things. Let's see, what's going on here? This isn't working for me. I think I can keep parts of it, but it's a little bit too much. Oh, am I on the wrong layer? No, I'm on the right layer. Okay. So some of that is just from the... Actually, you know what? I think I might like that a little bit more than what I got going on to the color dodge. So I'll lessen it there instead. Yeah, I like this. This makes it a little warmer. Okay, so now that I know I like it, let's make it look a little better. And down here too, I think I need to touch up the edges just a little. Okay. And I do worry that some parts are a little dark, like especially down here. So I might need to touch that up slightly, but I think I'm gonna see how I feel about this for next week, but I think that's about what I want here. And before I end off for today, I'm gonna go move the background to the other side. So I'm just gonna copy this, go down to the bottom of the other side here, and delete its background. And we're gonna put it there. Layer, transform, mirror horizontally. Okay, so I think I'm gonna have to do that whole process again, but I was curious to see how it looked, and unfortunately it looks like I didn't draw quite enough of certain parts of the window. So I will have to redraw some of those. But that's okay, it looks like most of it's gonna work out. Very nice. Okay. So, next time, I think it's gonna be about... Yeah, thank you for coming. But yeah, next time I think it's gonna be all about the background lighting, which... Foliage aside, I think will be much simpler, and then I can get some nice sunbeams going through the window, and it'll be great. And I think that will finish it off with some color correction and stuff, and then I can draw this side. And we'll see if I can get this done by October 10th. I'm doing my best. Alright, but yeah, I think it's working. And I don't know, I still worry about her lower half being a little bit darker than I want it to be. But that's like the extent of it. That side will be easier in that regard because it's red and not black. But I might just need a little bit more reflected light, doing reflected light things down there. Yeah, thank you very much. But yeah, the little bit of light coming through the cape, I think, fixed like half the problems with everything over here being too dark. So now I just need to get the other half of everything a little bit lower. Okay. But I do think I want to get the background first before I do the touch-ups, because nothing will look right if the background is not lit. But yes, this is where I will stop for today. So thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all next Thursday with some more game development.